story that a lot of you guys, obviously, it's a pretty dramatic story. You guys really enjoy the dramatic stuff. Going to talk about a situation that recently occurred where pretty tense situation that I came across. I've got a little map drawn up here where I'm going to go through and talk about the whole circumstance there, and then after that, I've got some body armor that I'm going to basically review. There's a link in the description below. But what I really want to do, guys, is I want to get your opinion on this, because this is a situation where I mean, there would have been some things that I could have done that definitely would have got me killed, okay? There's some things that I believe that I did right, some things that I believe that I did wrong, but I want your opinion. So what I want to start off by saying, in the comment section below, and get involved, guys. Comment. Let's start a conversation here. Let's start a learning environment. I'm not just sharing these stories, near-death experiences and stuff like that. I know you guys like them, but I'm also sharing them to try and, have other people not have to maybe go through the same things. I'm going to start off the story by saying, so I was out, doing, actually, so backstory on me, for those of you who may not know who I am. If you're not, in the security industry, if you don't have any, experience or knowledge on personal contracting, private security contracting, personal security, then you may not have heard of Bone Tactical. If you don't have any tactical experience necessarily, if you're not into knives or tactical gear or anything like that, then you may not have heard of me. I was originally, started out with Bone Tactical as a private security contractor. Currently am basically just extremely well known, and part of this story, the reason that what happened is because I'm so well known in the areas that I operate in. So we came across some other, I'll say bodyguards, for the sake of giving them the benefit of the doubt, but these guys were, down in Honduras and Guatemala, El Salvador, Central America, they're called hitmen or sicario. So this is what these guys were. There was a group of guys there was two vehicles. One of them, they were both Nissans, current, brand new Nissans, no plates, no license plates, no markings, nothing like that. There was a Nissan Patrol SUV, which is just a ridiculously expensive SUV, armored, so it's probably a $300,000 rig, and then behind them was operating as a chase car was the bodyguards in a NP300 or something around those lines. It's kind of like, it's a light truck, it's a pickup truck, very small pickup truck, Nissan, and the altercation happened at a gas station. So the reason that I say I have to give the history is because those guys saw me and my guys, and they had immediately recognized who we were. So you have to take into account the whole situation here. I've got a drawing here of where this took place. This represents a traffic circle. This is a main road here. Basically a semi-main road. It was a very big intersection. And there's traffic lights all through here. The traffic circle is controlled by lights, and then this is a gas station. It occurred at a gas station. You guys know I have had shootouts at gas stations before. It's nothing new. This happened like just recently, very, very recently. Within a few days, this happened. So I'm going to tell this story. I'm going to go through and kind of just draw out different things, and so I can show you guys exactly, what happened. But to understand where we're coming from, what you do have to understand is that my vehicle's well known, and then, there's always that gray man hard target balance. So these guys saw us, and they potentially thought that we were up to no good. They could have even thought that there's even a lot of myths about what I do. You get to a certain level, I guess, in this business where you have a reputation that takes on its own form, okay? Like you become, the things that you've done become legend. They're lied about, they're over exaggerated. So would have been very different had it just been any random people. But I went into a situation, what we would consider to be very hot situation, and it made it a lot worse. These gentlemen being basically protecting an asset by the way that they were acting that was under a big target person, because I've very rarely seen anybody in this area that has this type of movement of bodyguards and everything like that. So these guys immediately recognized us, and it got very tense very fast. Basically a standoff between a group of bodyguards and me and my guys. There's 4 of us. There was 4 or 5 of them, I believe. So there's 4 of them plus whoever was in the other vehicle. The main vehicle, the armored vehicle, was so dark tinted, I could not tell how many people were in their main vehicle. There was at least the person they were protecting, I'll explain the whole situation to you. So, okay, here we are. We're driving. It's been a long day, and to give the backstory, I'm in my Land Cruiser, which is a highly known vehicle. Modified Land Cruiser, big tires, sticks out like a sore thumb. People see us, they know who we are. These days, with the great success I've had with my weapons design and development and my non-permissive environment gear that I'm selling, I can pick and choose what security contracts that I want to take. So this particular day, I was actually working on outreach program, I was using my services to help some individuals who are interested in investing in the growth of the country to build roads, schools, bridges, stuff like that. You guys know I'm really into that kind of stuff. I really enjoy, outreach and stuff like that. So we were doing some route planning, doing some, a bunch of different stuff, just helping out with and checking on some roads and bridges that we had built and a school that we had built, and the hurricanes had destroyed some of the roads and just a bunch of stuff like that. It had been a long day. We get to the main city. We had been way out in the wilderness where we had built this school 5 years ago now, and filming all that. Did a bunch of filming out there too, so I'll put those videos up sometime here in the future. But we're in the traffic circle. Okay, here we are. Now there's lights here, and this is a main intersection, and I'm around here, and this light's in the process of turning. So I pull into the intersection, and I pull over here. So I pull to this area right here, and there's a guy on a bicycle coming right here. And he's not paying attention. He's watching the light. He's not looking at me, but I'm already in front of the bicycle, but the light's turning. Since I pull in slow, there's a bunch of traffic up here in the gas station. This is the gas station. This is the 4 gas pumps. Pump 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say. All right. So I'm pulling in here, and here is the vehicle that is the primary protected person. Let's say this is the boss. Okay, this is the boss, and the bodyguard's vehicle is like right here. So this is the bodyguard's vehicle. Okay, bodyguards. All right. This is the gas pump. So this guy's getting gas. The boss is getting gas. One of the bodyguards is here outside of the vehicle, because what happens when you've got really, really, really high-risk clients, they never lower their window and they never open their doors because it's an armored vehicle, right? These guys, when I pull in, only the driver is in the car and he's waiting. As I pulled in, one of these bodyguards from this vehicle was right here. One of them was right like around here. And one of them was right here. So there's 3 armed guys, and they're all looking inward. Okay? So I pull in a known vehicle, known people, known to be armed, and known to be private security contractors with the potential of these guys thinking any kind of thing. They could be thinking that we're a direct threat to their primary, and that's what they immediately started acting like. So then I pull in here and had this beep, beep, beep. I'm beeping at the guy on the bike, the light's turning, and I pull in right here to get gas. Okay, so here's me. I'm in the driver's seat. I've got 4 guys with me. All right, 3 of my employees, excuse me. There's 4 of us total. 2 of my guys, as soon as we pull in, and 2 of my guys go into the store. Here's the store. So 2 of my guys quickly jump out and go into the store. Well, as I pull in, I notice these 3 armed guards here. I notice the armored vehicle, and I notice the truck that I pulled past. I immediately put 2 and 2 together. White, brand new, no plates, armored SUV. White, brand new Nissan, no plates, armored troop carrier, basically, is what it is. It's got the bodyguards in it. Then I scan the scene. There's a bodyguard here looking at me. He's got a gun on his hip. Bodyguard here looking at me, gun on his hip, which is actually illegal. So these guys have big, giant pistols with huge 33 round magazines sticking out, right? Or 30. None of them were Glocks, so they were all like Berettas. So I'm like, okay, that's, interesting, because they've all got blue polo shirts on, all of the ones that I saw. And I could see all their big guns on their waist, except for this guy. This guy's gun right here, you couldn't see. You just saw that he was matching clothes, but you couldn't see his gun. This guy's gun's on his waist. This guy's gun's on his waist. All right, so I'm watching these guys and also looking at the truck and looking at this. My guys run in here to buy food because it's a long day, we're hungry. So they run in and buy food. One of them had an older style camouflage shirt on, of the Columbia combat shirt that was back when they were multicam, which is illegal to wear in where we were operating at. So that's setting off alarms, obviously, for these guys. These guys know who we are. They know we're armed. So the situation becomes really tense really fast. I'm watching this guy, okay? And this guy here starts moving towards me and my vehicle. And all of them are like, they're on super high alert. First, let me tell you, normally in this situation, the bodyguards don't do this. So the first thing I can tell you 100% is whoever was in this vehicle right here, whoever was the boss, is super high risk. He's very scared. They didn't have lights on their vehicles. Okay, if it would have been police or military or government, they would have had they could have had those same vehicles. They probably would have been Toyotas, but they would have had like a red and a blue light that would be going somewhere from a concealed position, but you'd be able to see the lights. They didn't have any of that. They had no markings, nothing like that. The one guy, later on from some of the more stuff that I saw, I could tell you for sure this guy was not a government role. What that means is almost definitely he was a big-time drug dealer. So most dangerous possible scenario that you can get into. These guys, they get wiped out all the time, right? They're killing each other all the time. Most absolutely dangerous guys. The way that his bodyguards were acting, not even the president's, bodyguards, maybe the president, okay, it's a bad example, but I've got political contacts and their bodyguards don't even do this. So the fact that his bodyguards when he was getting gas, his bodyguards went to strategic positions and are scanning the crowd like this, like they're in an active war zone. That means that tells us that he is extremely expecting somebody to try and take him out, right? So super dangerous situation to be in. When you anywhere in Central America, when you see a person who's got bodyguards that look nervous and are actually doing their job, because 99% of bodyguards down here don't do their job. They're just there. Okay, they're there to hold a gun up or hold a gun in their pants, and that's it. It's their only job. When you see bodyguards that look nervous, because something's going to happen. These guys in general, 99% literally of bodyguards in Latin America, if they look nervous, something's going to happen. It's not about if, it's about when. So I'm already like, crap. I'm getting diesel at this point. I'm in the middle of guys completely surrounding me that are expecting to be in a shootout at any time. And my guys, two of my guys are in here in the store, not even paying attention to what's going on enough. They noticed what was going on, but I don't think they realized how high alert it was. The guy behind me, my guy that was directly behind me, did realize it because he was watching what I was watching. So this guy starts making his way over here, but in a very, let's say, in a way that all these three guys were stopped scanning the crowd and they started watching us. So they're watching me, they're trying to see what I'm doing, they're trying to see what my guys inside are doing, and then they all start basically focusing in on us. They start moving in and they're all focusing on us. So I'm like, crap, this is not good. This guy starts coming up here, and this vehicle that their bodyguard vehicle moves directly next to my vehicle. Okay, I'm sitting here. This guy is walking up here. Okay, he walks up in between here. My guy behind me and me are watching this happen. So this is the guy, remember, that I can't see his gun. Okay? So I'm like, okay, well, I know he's a bodyguard, but I can't see his gun. These guys pull up here next to me. This guy walks up right, and I'm looking at him in the mirror. He's looking at me. I'm watching him watch me. I mean, he's stalking. He's walking like this, watching. At the point where he's here, I had taken my seatbelt off earlier on, and all the way, I have my pistol here in outside the waistband carry. I often carried an appendix, but it was a blessing that I didn't this day, because if I would have had appendix tucked like this, he would have seen the pistol when he walked up and looked in my window as he was getting into his vehicle, and that would have been even worse. So he didn't see the pistol. I had my hand on the pistol here like this, and I'm watching him walk up. Now you guys comment below in this video or get involved with comment. I want you guys to read the comments and so we can get involved and talk about what happened, why this happened, what I should have done differently, what I should have done better, right? Get involved in the comment section, guys. Let's get this thing going. But tell me if I'm wrong, tell me if I'm right. Read other comments, see what other people think. Let's open our minds up here and get involved. But so I got my hand on my gun. Some people might think I should have pulled my gun out and had my gun right here already. But I'll tell you right now that I would have been shot or had to have shot this guy. And I'm still here, didn't get shot that day, and didn't have to kill anybody that day. So I can say that I feel like I did the right thing in that situation. But here I am, hand on my gun. This guy's walking up, and I'm still looking for his gun, right? I'm like, man, this is the only one of all these bodyguards that doesn't have a gun. Well, he, for some reason, didn't even have a belt on, had jeans, the polo shirt, and as he got into his vehicle, he opens the door like this, right? He's looking at me, checking me out, opens the door like this, pulls his shirt up and pulls his gun out. Okay? Obviously, super tense situation. My guy's right here, I'm right here, and we're watching this. He's halfway trying to hide behind his door as he's getting into his car. So he opens the door up like this, already checked us out, and pulls his shirt up and pulls the gun out as he's getting into his car. And he's a foot away from me, right? And he sits down. I know he's got his hand in his gun, but now he's in his vehicle closing his door. So he's here and I'm here. We're looking at each other. I got my hand on my gun. He's got his gun in his hand. I can tell by his body positioning that he's pointing his gun at me. And he's 2 feet away from me at this point. So I'm like, all right, my gun's holstered. I don't know for sure if he's going to shoot, but what I can tell from the situation is that he's protecting a big drug dealer who is expecting an imminent hit. Probably just had a hit. Maybe his family's already been kidnapped. Who knows? Okay, it's crazy down here. But he's expecting or in the middle of a war. And he sees me and he knows who I am. He knows what I'm capable of. He knows that we're with a bunch of tough dudes, armed, and with a reputation, right? So these guys, because of my situational awareness, I know that he's scared to death. He thinks that he's about to be in a shootout. But I have to judge at this point whether this guy is so scared that he's going to shoot. Like, for example, you have the situation with cops in the United States that shoot people because they're so scared that they just get scared. Boom, shoot. They kill people because they're scared and they have lack of training. But these guys down here, they don't get that position of being a bodyguard for a big-time dude like that. And you can tell it's a big-time dude by the car, by the everything I've been explaining to you. Definitely a big-time person he's protecting. You don't get to that point unless you've killed a crap ton of people. So this guy has got bodies under his belt, let's say. He has killed enough people to where he earned his job as a bodyguard, what he's doing, right? That's just the requirement. There's no, you don't have like a resume of anything else. It's just like literally how many people have you killed? Okay, if you killed 50 or more, okay, you might be able to get this position here, right? And that's like, that's what they do. That's how it works down here. But, so I have to take that into account, right? I got to think, all right, so this guy has some experience enough to know that he probably doesn't want to just start opening fire at a gas station for no reason. But is he crazy? Does he just not care? Most of them are. But so it's a tough thing. I have to consider, I'm running odds in my head in less than a second, right? I got to make that decision. Do I draw and fire? Because I could definitely take him out. His gun's pointed at me. So, but what are the chances of him being able to get a kill shot from down here, Or, hey, man, it's a 9mm. It's got to go through 2 doors. There's all kinds of, trajectory changes and velocity changes. All kinds of stuff's going to happen. I like my chances if I had to, right? But do I have to? The guy behind me is like, boss, 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 what do I do? I'm like, don't do anything. I said, look, if you hear shooting, don't do anything until you hear gunshots. I'm telling him, right? So it's a tense situation for a few seconds right there. Boom. He's looking at me. He's got his gun in his hand. He's pointing his gun at me. I can't see the gun being pointed at me, but I know his gun's in his hand, and he's looking at me, and his body position's here, and I'm there. Well, within probably a second, who knows? The main car, I just lost my, let's see if I can fix this here. Within a few seconds, the main car goes out onto the main road here and leaves, and the chase car follows. These 2 guys are there, going about their business. There was no shooting, nothing happened. It was a tense second, and that's it. So what would have happened, my guys come back out, hey, what was the deal with those bodyguards? There was a lot of bodyguards. They were acting pretty, I was like, man, where were you guys at? Like one of those situations. But we all, live to joke about it. Just another thing, and the reason I'm sharing this video with you right away is because this stuff happens to me like I can't even tell you how many times I've been in situations like this and a lot worse. I didn't get shot this time. I didn't have to shoot anybody this time. So it's, not even memorable. Next week I'll probably forget this. But those of you guys who aren't, living this, who haven't lived it, a lot of people would probably say, man, you should have had your gun in your hand. You should have pulled your gun out. You should have shot that guy. I mean, there's 3 guys all around me, 4 guys, right? All around me in a situation where they're all armed and I'm here. That's I feel like I did the best thing. Would I have responded differently or with aggression had I had to? I mean, you guys do the math, but that's a kind of a situation where I think what we can take from this is that it's very important to be wary and it's not always the best idea to pull your firearm out. There's a couple real quick rules that, for me are just rules that I have that I think most people these days don't understand or fully, even this bodyguard had his gun in his hand. Well, one of my rules is I don't pull my gun out if it's holstered and concealed unless I'm going to use it and until I'm going to use it. Okay, so if you see my gun and it's a pistol that normally I have concealed, you're not going to be seeing it for very long because it's probably the last thing you're going to see. That's a rule that we don't teach or respect anymore. Waving guns around I don't think I've ever had a situation in my entire life where I had a concealed firearm and pulled it out to threaten somebody. It's just not. It's not something that should ever be done. It's not necessary. There's no situation that I've ever had, and I've been in thousands of physical altercations and situations like this, literally thousands, and never has it occurred to me. Now, of course, there's combat, more specific, hard target type roles where you already have your rifle carbine out, right? All the time, it's not concealed. That's a different situation completely. But pulling a pistol out, for you guys, 99% of you people that are watching this video, the only time you're ever gonna have to use a gun in self-defense will be if you do have to do that, which is a very small percentage of you will, it will be from a concealed position because that's how we carry. That's the advantage you have. As an American, that's how it works. Okay, so don't pull your gun out and show it to somebody, because that guy pulling his gun out, I knew that he had a gun, but if he didn't have a gun, or if he wasn't a bodyguard and I didn't know he had a gun in the same situation, very likely would have been, and if it would have been somebody else, it would have just been his death wish, right? So if I would have pulled my gun out, I probably would have been dead. I definitely would have been having a lot more to deal with than just a laugh with the boys, right? So there's a lot we can learn from that. There is some stuff over here on the table that I'm going to talk about. In the section below, there's these plates here are a sponsor, let's say, for the channel. I've been asked to. They're not paying for anything. It's not a paid advertisement, but I've been asked to review these plates, okay? So this is all armor on the table, believe it or not. This is armor as well. This is probably my favorite new armor. This is from Zahal.org, okay? This over here. This is not in the link below. This is in the description, and there's a link in the description below for this. But I'm gonna sit down over here so you guys can, so I can talk about this stuff real quick. A lot of you guys want to know about plate carriers. These are some of the plates that I use more regularly. Okay, this is not the set that I use daily or will use daily, since we're talking about private security contracting, stuff like that. But this is it's a HESCO plate. So HESCO plate's most commonly what I'm using right now. Why is that? They're like some sort of a polymer. It's very light. And I share everything so it'll benefit you guys. So here's the benefit for you guys. There will never be a circumstance in your life where you'll benefit from having a metal plate in a plate carrier. All right, it's just too heavy and it's a bunch of bunk. It's a marketing gimmick. All right, so there's whatever quantity of tactical Goombas out there that want to be cool, and they all have metal plate carriers in their metal plates in their plate carriers. And guys, if you need a plate carrier, then you need good plates, right? If you need a plate carrier, you've got some serious stuff going on, and you need a plate carrier that's light enough that allows you to move around and do your job, right? Got some plate carriers behind me. There's almost no advantage to this. It's actually a disadvantage carrying metal plates. They're just too heavy. They slow you down, and they're incredibly heavy. They're hard to carry around. Having a plate carrier to begin with makes you a target more than anything, and it doesn't protect. It's not like it's a suit of armor that protects every part of your body. There's very small advantages actually to a plate carrier because you can take hits here, 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 all over. You're taking hits in the legs. You've got arteries going through your legs that is a kill shot, right? So be very intelligent. Why would I want to wear a plate carrier? Well, if there's no element of surprise and I want to wear a plate carrier outside of my clothing, okay, and this only does not apply to active military people, right? Very small percentage of my viewers are active military in a combat zone. Those are the only people that this doesn't apply to. But for the rest of us, you would wear a plate carrier and it would make you a target because, oh, why does that guy have a plate carrier on? Oh, he also has a gun. Okay, well, I'm going to shoot him in the head and take his gun and his plate carrier, right? So a plate carrier like this one from Snake Eater Tactical, I can wear under my shirt if I need to, which is great. All right, it's awesome. It's very light. One of these plates from RTS Tactical, I think it is, weighs as much as both of my plates and my entire plate carrier. So it's just ridiculous, this metal plate thing, guys. Get over it. There's never in the world will you need a metal plate for a plate carrier. It's just, you really don't even need a plate carrier, 99% of people. The only people that are benefiting from it are the people who are active military. People already know you're a soldier, so then you might as well at least armor up a little bit. And then what's the greatest advantage at that point is having just a chest rig, right? Why not put armor with your chest rig? The biggest benefit's actually having quick access to your stuff. When I'm in my vehicle and I can grab my pistol that's right here, imagine being in that situation that I was just in, right? I'm sitting here and there's a guy right here that's a threat. The plate carrier in that situation is literally, boom, fastest. Everybody's always saying, people that don't understand or have a tactical background or understanding of private security or, tactics, really, don't understand why I wear the pistol here on my plate carrier. It's because it's the fastest access and the best place you can possibly have it for being in a modern world where we actually travel in what we call vehicles, cars, pickup trucks, right? So here, your natural center of everything is where you want to be able to access from. But that's common sense stuff, but it's not so common sense. I've got tons of videos on all that stuff, guys, so check that out. Just blows my mind that so many people recommend metal plates for plate carriers. Just ridiculous. Save your money. Buy something that you could use or could actually save your life. This is one of the coolest things that I've ever seen. This is actually body armor, very gray man-ish. Looks like a backpack, and there's some tabs on here. And you literally just reach back here, pull the tabs up, pull it over, and you've got your body armor on, right? So something like this is way better, hands down, than something like this. And then the worst possible thing is metal plates. So that's just kind of the rundown. If you do want to get something cool, get it from zahal.org. And then the plates, as far as the plates go, if you have money to burn and you just want to be cool or look cool, whatever reason you want plates for, because they're really not that helpful for anything unless you're in the military and then they give you the plates. A lot of times, depending on what military you're in, what country and what role and what branch and all that. But anyway, the people that are thinking about buying plates, get good ones, guys, and good ones don't weigh anything, right? They weigh like 3 pounds a plate, right? If it weighs 10 pounds a plate, 20 pounds a plate, there's no reason to have them. It's just going to slow you down, make you target, and save your money. So anyway, that's what I wanted to cover. Looking forward to your questions and comments. Definitely, guys, get involved. If you want to see more stuff like this, more stories, stuff like that, you got to get involved in the comment section. If you're watching this video after it was live, get involved. Read through the comments and start a comment war down there. Let's get tactical and discuss everything. So that's how I can keep these videos coming. They gotta hit it off, and that's the only way I can do it. So if you want more, that's your part. Do your part. I'm doing mine. Taking this time out of my day to share these, tips with you guys and save your money and teach you what you need and what you don't need. Thanks for watching. Bone out.